wrote that. He didn't even go off the head. He was reading.
Love it. I know you're
Easy,
playing.
TJ. That's my guy now.
I know you playing.
Coughlin is my guy. The Super Bowl ring I got was on the team that he was the head coach of.
Respect that.
Love it.
I'm just mad that we cut the video short before he said, "Get off my lawn." Get up, man. You get that old,
You know what he said?
archaic mindset out
Get
of
off my 5 and 11. I'm here to win championships,
Hey, you
and
know
we
what?
were trash last year.
You know what? And that's what's funny. It's so funny that people are so result-based in their work habits when you're not supposed to be. It's supposed to be the flip. People always say winning is a habit. No, it's not. Winning habits help you win. You have to work on formulating winning habits. If you trusted your system last year, why are you tripping this year, coach? Oh, you don't trust your system. So now you want to throw that out and make something that's voluntary mandatory.
Why aren't OTAs part of a winning habit?
First of all, it's because it's voluntary. I'm going to tell you why. Because there are going to be guys who are leaders on ball clubs that aren't even on the squad
They're
yet.
not even in OTAs yet.
They ain't even
They just working out.
Baker Mayfield wasn't even on the squad last year.
Jalen Ramsey was trash last year.
Jalen Ramsey was not up to standard, trust, but he's still an all-pro, and he wasn't trash, and he still is an all-pro.
Everything's based on expectation.
Hold on. It turns into, OTAs turns into, at times, babysitting. Like, we want to see you punch the clock and see you working on your game. When they don't trust that I think my game is more important to me than it is to you, so I'm always going to work on my game. 2, this team effort building, there's a moment of truth in football called when that ball is in the air, when your hand is in the dirt. April ain't going to necessarily translate to that moment. You can say it is because of attendance rates, but I'm just here to tell you that there are many leaders like a Tom Brady who's missed multiple
I hope
years.
Urban Meyer isn't listening to you right now.
I hope he is. Tom
Great
Brady has
coaches
missed
disagree with all
multiple
that.
years of voluntary workouts. How's that worked out for him?
Well, here's the thing, Marcellus. I agree with you and disagree with you at the same time because I do believe that a part of putting together your football team starts with the offseason training program. Bill Parcells was a big believer in making sure that his guys got their weights, got their conditioning, didn't love OTAs. He didn't take them seriously. We had a couple of OTA practices leading into minicamp, and then he let us go on about our business because OTAs ain't really football because you can't have the pads on. But the offseason strength and conditioning program is important. I know Coach Coughlin believes in that. My thing is when you're coming out and openly criticizing Telvin Smith, Pro Bowl linebacker, one of the leaders on your defense, and then Jalen Ramsey, one of the guys that's known to be one of the hardest training guys in the offseason. That's what I have a problem with. Jalen Ramsey hasn't changed anything about his workout routine since he's been in the National Football League. He trains with his father at that workout facility that he's got, and he's always come in and given you his best effort. Now, to your point, Whitlock, Jalen Ramsey wasn't great last year, but a lot of guys weren't great on that Jacksonville Jaguars team, but that's in part because they quit because the quarterback play was so poor. And Tom Coughlin was the one that gave Blake Bortles a contract extension, not those guys on the defensive side of the ball. The Jacksonville Jaguars defense was top 5 in points and yards. So if you want to point the finger at guys, you need to point the finger at yourself because there were some poor decisions that were made in constructing this roster, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Pretty good, Chris. That was
Listen.
Okay, I'm just
one word.
I'm just saying. I mean, let's call it fact.
Voluntary.
Thank you.
Voluntary. Like, I choose to be there or I choose not to be there.
Thank you.
It's as simple as that. And for you to just sit here and just go on this tirade about them not being there working out, like, these guys are young. When you're young, you truly care more about yourself than a coach can ever care about your performance.
Thank you.
Period.
Thank
Do you really think I'm not going to be here and not work hard? There's
I think
no
that
way.
applies to everybody in the locker room.
Man, Jalen
never
Ramsey
think
was
they
a
got
Pro
there.
Bowler last year. Jalen Ramsey has
On
pride.
reputation.
There's not one coach that wouldn't have him on his team.
Based on talent, absolutely.
Based on what
TJ, it goes back to what Jimmy Johnson used to say, right? I'll treat all my players fairly. I'm not going to treat them all the same. That's exactly what it is.
Listen.
I mean, you
if Tom
understand that
Coughlin
as a
wanted
player in the
Jalen
locker
Ramsey
room.
there, make sure that I'm there then. Give me a new contract. If you want me there, pay me like you played Blake Bortles last year, and I'm there.
How about
or Telvin Smith.
Give me a contract.
TJ.
Incentify, and I'm there. You give me some incentive to be there, and I'll be there.
I need you to respect that, one, I got up here to this level based on my skill, my will, and respect that. And I respect my training more so than sometimes going to your strength and conditioning
Everybody's
coach.
will is the same.
I know that. And you know what? And not every team's strength and conditioning coach and program is for every player. So you need to respect that Jerry Rice needs to run his hill.
Hey, a lot of times,
and not be
I'll be
there
doing
with
the
you.
same workout that they doing. And I'm a receiver.
be clear here. The other part, I'm going to defend Tom Coughlin.
Let's hear it.
They've changed the rules that relates to practice during the season. And so that, of course, is going to make organizations put an emphasis more on the offseason.
Stop.
When Jerry Rice and them was practicing, they was having 2 and 3 hour practices.
Training camp was almost 2 months long.
Yeah,
training camp was completely different.
Raise your hand if you played in that NFL. I did. And you know what we also did? You know
I got a little bit of it.
Also? OTAs. I remember when I got drafted.
You said you didn't have?
We did not.
I know.
So the rule changes are not just within practice and how you're going to practice. It's now we added all these things.
To make up for the fact that we can't really practice during the season.
No, follow me. The origin of this, in 1997 when I was drafted, I got a call, you're drafted, see you at minicamp. Went to minicamp for 3 days, they said, see you at training camp. Peace. Now, all of a sudden, you look up a year or 2 later, you're like, what's this mandatory voluntary? What's this OTA and mandatory voluntary? And now they went back and reduced it. But guess what? Let's go back to where you started it. There were greats who played the game and the legends of yesteryear who didn't need to be babysat like this. It's crazy.
Marcellus, the other thing, when they give you great wealth, the expectations elevate.
They did that in the 80s?
But they didn't give them great wealth in the 80s. Not like they're getting now.
In the 90s?
It's not even close.
In the 90s?
It's not even close.
What?
It's all relative.
No, it's not that relative.
The popularity of the game has increased exponentially.
Yeah,
exponentially.
I'll give you that.
Give them a
Because you
contract.
acting like they wasn't making money in the 90s. Stop playing.
Kevin Durant and Ben Simmons have been missing in action until last night. Chris Haynes and Mark Medina joined the show to discuss their big nights.
Next! $100 million deal in 99.
Now I had the time of my life, and
The most delicious union of all time is back. Kentucky Fried Chicken and Waffles for a limited time at KFC.
Great. Another wireless ad. So many of them are full of this complicated, tricky language about their network and offers and blah, 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 blah. Look.